So it feels like every day a new Chinese manufacturer is popping into the e-mobility space to come out with their own emoped style bike to compete with brands such as Super 73 and Aero Rider. With that being said, the Haoqi Rhino is no different, and no, I don't know how to speak Chinese. I just use Google Translate to translate this. How else would you say that? Comment below and try to write it as if you were pronouncing it. Now with that being said, this bike has a 1000-watt motor with a 52-volt 26.1 amp hour battery pack that we're going to be putting to the test momentarily. Before you make your purchases out there, you got to be able to pull out your wallet, and that's where we talk about today's video sponsor, Phantom Wallet. Today's video is sponsored by Phantom Wallet. Phantom has wallets that can fit any budget, any style, have RFID protection, and come with a lifetime warranty on all models. Whether you want something simple, slim, and on a budget like the Phantom S that can add accessories like a money clip, coin holder, or an AirTag, or if you want to have something a bit more high-end like the Phantom X that is all aluminum and can add accessories like a coin holder, cash holder, ID holder, silicone band, and more, or if you want to go full minimalistic like the Phantom C MagSafe wallet that can attach to your iPhone, all great options to keep you organized and minimalistic on a budget. Thanks again for Phantom Wallet for sponsoring today's video. Now at the time of this video, the Rhino retails for $14.99 with free shipping and has a 15-day return policy. It also comes with a 2-year warranty and a ton of different accessories. And on the surface, this bike really seems like it's a good deal. Let's dive really deep into the specs, do a speed test, a brake test, and a hill test to see if this bike's worth it. Starting with the frame. The frame is made out of 6061 aluminum alloy and has the ergonomics and geometry to not only give you the aesthetic, but also the overall ride and feel of a motorcycle. The fork is also made out of aluminum alloy and is a hydraulic suspension with 80 millimeters of travel with lockout and rebound. Now moving on up to the handlebar, you'll find yourself a pretty standard set of rubberized grips, the controls for your headlight and horn, a separate controller to be able to control all your 5 pedal assist levels and throttle only through your display front and center, which is colorized, your gear shifter, a half twist throttle, and hydraulic disc brakes, which we'll be putting to the test momentarily. Now with a payload capacity of 400 pounds, let's talk about the power, range, and top speed, starting with the motor. The rear hub motor is a 52-volt 1000-watt rear hub motor with 96 newton-meters of torque, powered by a 52-volt 26.1 amp hour battery pack, getting you a range between 65 and 90 miles, depending on what pedal assist level you're in, as well as a top speed of 28 miles per hour. So with that being said, let's put this thing to the test. All right, so for the speed test and brake test, we're going to be doing this in pedal assist 1 through 5, as well as throttle only straight into the brake test. Now the standover on this bike is actually pretty good for me, being 6 foot tall. And yeah, let's get right into it. Pedal assist level 1, let's hit start, and we're off. Nice smooth take up actually right there. So it's showing 7 miles per hour on theirs. There it is, 7 miles per hour, so about 1 mile per hour difference. See what it is, pedal assist level 2. Nice smooth into 2. Pretty close, about 1.5 miles off. Pedal assist level 3. Bit of a jump there. Pedal assist level 4. Getting really close to being maxed out pedaling. I'm like, gonna have to start ghost pedaling now. Pedal assist level 5. 28 miles per hour in theirs. 25.6 so far, 26. Let's see if we can get 27. All right, let's get over there and do a throttle and brake test. All right, straight into the throttle test. Do know that the testing seems to be a little bit different depending on the weather that you're in. It's pretty cold right now. I'd say it's about 43 degrees out, showing 23 miles per hour in theirs, 22 on mine, 23. I'm gonna get real low. 26. Says a max speed of 28 miles per hour. Let's see if we can get to it. Pretty much maxing out here. Come on. Pretty much maxed out. All right, we're gonna do our brake test in 3, 2, 1. Whew. All right, so the brakes are okay. I wouldn't say they're the best hydraulic disc brakes I've had on a bike, that's for sure. The stopping distance seemed to be approximately about 50 feet from start to finish. I was feathering the front brake, locking on the rear brake. I felt like it was still spinning through it. They didn't really want to lock on without me squeezing tremendously. With that being said, I had the PSI to its max, the suspension locked out to be able to do this speed test. Let's go check out the results right now. So for the speed test, we have near perfect conditions. Nice flat terrain. It is a bit cold, and that does play a factor when it comes to some battery cells. I'm not too sure with this one. It might play a factor, but it also could be my body weight. With the locked out suspension, the max PSI, and me weighing 184 pounds, let's talk about my top speed, pedal assist level 1 through 5. So my max speed was 27.1 miles per hour with an average speed of 18.4 miles per hour and a total distance of 1,444 feet in 1 minute exactly. Now that's actually pretty impressive. I did feel like that the bike wanted to reach that top speed of 28 miles per hour, but I felt like something was holding it back. This bike is on lock, so it is capable of reaching that 28 miles per hour. But with that being said, let's talk about the throttle only and the brake test. Now in throttle only, I was able to reach a max speed of 27.2 miles per hour with an average speed of 22.9 miles per hour and a total distance of 1,476 feet in 45 seconds. Now that's actually pretty quick. And with it being a 1,000-watt motor with 96 Newton meters of torque, I could definitely feel it on the top end. With that being said, the brakes are something I wasn't necessarily impressed with. Could be a factor with the cold weather, but I'm not too sure. I really had to squeeze hard to get these things to lock up, and that's not necessarily the case with other brakes. Now with that being said, let's get this thing over to the hill test to put this Newton meters of torque to the test. All right, so for the hill test, it is a 15-degree grade with 2 switchbacks. Now this is a 96 Newton meter torque with 1,000-watt motor. We're gonna be doing this in pedal assist level 5, but no pedaling. It's gonna be throttle only. Here we go. We're about 16 miles per hour now. 19, 22, according to the display, which is usually pretty accurate. It's about 1 to 2 miles off right now. Come up to the first turn, tap these brakes, gonna cut it close, see if we can stay on the throttle. The throttle responsiveness is about a second from the time I let off. So I'm gonna let off now, slam on the brakes, cut the turn tight, and I'm gonna twist. And it takes about a second for me to feel that engagement. We're at the 15-degree grade right now. We're doing about 16 miles per hour. 18 miles per hour, still pulling. Right there it's pulling pretty hard. 20 miles per hour. And it feels good, feels nimble. Right now I have the suspension on plush, so it's not locked out. And it's really nice and smooth in all the corners. Let's take it up this off-road hill right here. So this is just this front suspension. We have no rear suspension. Doing about 21 miles per hour up this hill. Still pulling pretty good. And this hill's a bit steeper than what we just went up now. Coming up to the dead end. And yeah, pretty responsive. Let's see how the hill descent handles on the bike. Let's go. It's a bit wet up here. Flying right now. 28 miles per hour. Woo! This thing moves. Feels amazing. Let's get back to the shop and talk about my final thoughts on the Rhino. So in closing, let's talk about price, performance, and power, as well as overall aesthetics of an emoped style bike. With that being said, this bike is really aesthetically pleasing and it looks and feels just like a motorcycle when you're riding it. But it does lack on the power and performance in my personal opinion, especially if you're putting it up against something like an Aero Rider X-Class. This thing is only $100 cheaper than X-Class and it lacks brakes, power output, battery output, actually a lot of stuff. But it really is aesthetically pleasing and you can upgrade this bike to be more powerful than an X-Class. But with that being said, you can also make an X-Class a bit more aesthetically pleasing. Now, I'm not talking about a Super 73 in this category because I do think they're a bit overpriced for what they are, which we can talk about in a later video. If you guys are interested in this bike or any other electric bike, click the link in the description below. Check them out. If you guys are interested in today's video sponsor, click that link in the description below as well. If you guys like this video, drop a like. If you love it, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.